The trilogy is based off of a man named Vito Corleone, a well-known mafia leader. Throughout the story, which was made out to be in the 50s era, another character that we are introduced to, named Michael, moved him and his family out to the center of operations in Nevada. The reason being, he wanted to expand his influence into new cities like Las Vegas and Havana, Cuba. As a young man, Vito was introduced to the lifestyle that was portrayed in the movie by his friends Clemenza. Clemenza first introduced him to robbery, which then began his whole career within the mafia lifestyle. While learning these strategies, Vito is gaining more respect minute by minute by his family members, in other words, his mafia members, as he shows his devotion to his lifestyle. Throughout the film, we watch Vito rise up in the mafia community and to become the head of his own crime family.
Michael Corleone is one of the sons of Vito Corleone. He enlisted in the army to fight in World War II, then becoming an army veteran after the war ended. Vito didn't want Michael to become godfather and play a role in his family, but instead to lead a more Americanized life and go into politics. Vito was always concerned for Michael when he was away, and he also knew that he would be the best choice for the role of godfather. When Michael became godfather, he listened to Vito's advice in the end of the first movie and applied it during his time as godfather throughout the entire second film. Michael is always focused and concentrated on what's best for the Corleone family. Throughout the second movie, Michael grows his family's business in places like Las Vegas and Cuba. He ends up cutting ties and killing a longtime family friend, Hyman Roth, and is forced to assassinate his brother, Fredo. From the first to second film, we witness Michael go from soulful to soulless during his time as godfather.
Vito is an Italian man born who watched his father, mother, and brother all get killed because they disrespected the family. In case you don't know what the family was, this was another word for the mom. Vito was almost killed himself, but he was able to escape to America by going through Ellis Island. Once he is in America, he gets married and at first is an honest guy who works at a deli and makes an honest living. But then he starts getting pulled in by the family by doing favors for them. Vito would soon become the godfather of his time and rule the streets. And if you were disloyal to the godfather or the family, you would probably be killed by one of Vito's goons. Vito had 3 sons and a daughter. His sons were Michael, Sonny, and Fredo, and his daughter was Connie. Vito had become part of the mob as a source of payment because jobs were scarce and job opportunities in general were scarce, not just for Italians, but them being Italian made it worse.
Fredo Corleone. Fredo is the son of Vito Corleone and the older brother of Michael Corleone. Fredo has always been a messenger or worker for Michael, even though he is older and deserves more respect. In the movie, Michael is almost killed by a rival mafia and he seeks to find out who put the hit on him. When he discovers it was Hyman Roth, Michael develops a whole plan to kill him. But at the Cuban presidential palace, Fredo says something that will stun Michael. A few moments before, Fredo met Hyman Roth and Johnny Ola for the first time. But after an eventful night of drinking at a show, Fredo says that Johnny Ola and Hyman Roth gave him the idea to watch the show. Michael now knows that Fredo betrayed him and gave Hyman Roth useful information to kill him. After a few days, Michael and Fredo meet back at Michael's boathouse to discuss why Fredo did what he did. Fredo talks about how all his life he has been nothing but a pawn to Michael and undervalued in the family. Even though he is the oldest, he has never received anything in return and is underappreciated. Michael does not accept him and says he never wants to see his face again. Fredo betrayed the family and put all of them in danger. At Michael and Fredo's mom's funeral, Michael forgives Fredo for what he has done. But moments after, Fredo goes fishing with one of Michael's hitmen and the hitman kills Fredo. The moral of the story is, you can have any position or role in the Corleone family, but if you mess up, betray, or prove to be disloyal to the mafia, it may cost you your life.
In the film, there's an overlying theme of power and corruption. In order for the mafia to stay in control and keep the money flowing, they needed power. In order to gain that power and control, they ended up corrupting state and government officials. They would even betray each other's trust for capital gain. This can be seen in many parts of the film. In order to open up a casino, they had to negotiate with the senator. The senator did not accept their one-sided offer. The mafia took drastic measures to reach their goal. They even went as far as killing a woman who the senator was sleeping with. They showed up and said that they would make this all disappear if the senator accepted their offer. Another example of corruption is their dealings with Cuba. They moved some businesses down there to stay under the radar and away from regulations. Cuba even ended up fronting 50% of the money for their operations.
In the film, a major theme shown is the different worlds of women and men. Briefly following Michael's promotion to becoming head of the Corleone family, his father gives him a special piece of advice. Women and children can be careless, not men. In the empire of the mafia, Vito describes to his son, men and women exist in dramatically different worlds. Men must never discuss business with women, and women should never question their final judgment. Women are able to be careless in life, Vito describes, because if a woman makes a mistake, no one dies. This is to say, women are able to not only be careless, but also be carefree. A major symbol shown in the film that proves this underlying theme are doors. In The Godfather 2, doors symbolizes the separation of women from men. Majority of the doors in the film are inside doors within the houses. They divide one room from another as doors should do, but interestingly enough, they separate the home between the male province of business and the female domain of family. Anytime men have to dispute or discuss any form of business, they enter their study and shut the door, as well as the females of the household. Entrances to houses and front doors are never shown, but when they are, they show the even more sturdy and substantial boundaries opposing female liberation and independence. As shown in the film, Kay has left Michael, and when Michael uncovers Kay was visiting the children, he slams the door in her face. In the same manner, when Kay is trapped from leaving the compound due to the fact that Michael was in hiding. Throughout The Godfather 2, it is proven through many pieces of precedent that a woman needs a man's approval to cross through any door.
The Corleone family values loyalty above all other virtues. They believe that one of the most important things about a family is being loyal to one another. If there's betrayal, death is the punishment with no exceptions. Since the mafia's goal is to seek money and power by any means necessary, including illegal, they need people they can trust who they know won't stab them in the back, figuratively or literally. The necessity of structure in the family and the constant emphasis on loyalty is itself a signal that the temptation to betrayal is common in the criminal life.